The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television. This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yackel Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflection Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota, a relaxing vacation or great location for an event. Explore alex.com. Easy to get to, hard to leave.
Welcome to Postcards. I'm Dana Johnson. Today we have a very special interview to share with you as we join Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul and Mary and his son Christopher. First, we take a trip down memory lane with family members Mary Beth McCarthy and Christopher Yarrow. Stay tuned to find out about the family's unique connection to this area as they tell us about their summer spent on Eagle Lake.
Music speaks louder than words. It's the only thing.
The child of somebody that has been successful in the way that my dad has been successful has a lot of lessons in it. I think for me, I take from it that that's something that my dad really wanted from life. He was driven to make a difference, and I think he saw that by taking a platform, and that was the best way to achieve change and achieve his goal and what his life goal was. And continues to be. For me, I share some of those same ideals. I haven't always wanted that exposure to the public. My dad's a very intense person. He has a lot that's driving him. So trying to figure out who I am in relation to that, there's certain parts of his persona that I'm not. My name is Christopher Michael McCarthy Yarrow, and I was born here in Willmar, Minnesota on September 12th, 1972. I've been coming back to Willmar every year of my life. One of the places that is most dear to me in my heart is this lake here, Eagle Lake, and the cabin that's here and the property behind it and the town. I talk about Willmar a lot in my life. When we were kids, my sister and I spent time here because it was the home of my grandparents and my mom's hometown.
My first encounter with Minnesota actually came about because of an extraordinary campaign that changed the world in many ways, but certainly changed my life in very dramatic ways. We found in 1968 that we had a candidate for President of the United States, a very, very great human being, and a Minnesotan senator by the name of Senator Eugene McCarthy. And we, who had been involved in the anti-war movement and the civil rights movement, recognized that we had a champion.
Gene McCarthy, who is my father's older brother by 3 years, decided to challenge Lyndon Johnson, who was the sitting Democratic president, because of the war in Vietnam.
We had not only a candidate in him, we also had a poet, we also had a very deep philosophical thinker, and a person of extraordinary integrity. And we fell in love with him as a human being, and a person who could now take what we were doing and in the streets and bring it to the halls of power.
as it turned out, I was introduced to Peter, and I realized that although they had been supporting Gene McCarthy, and Peter had written the campaign song, "If you love your country and the things for which it stands, vote for Gene McCarthy and bring peace to this our land," they had actually never met the senator. And Gene was in Portland that night giving a speech as well. So Peter asked that a member from the McCarthy family come and be in the audience of the Peter, Paul, and Mary concert that night. And I made arrangements for Peter, Paul, and Mary to come to the hotel after the concert.
And we fell in love. And when, in the years that passed, even though Eugene McCarthy was defeated, the spirit of what was created in that campaign changed a whole bunch of people in the United States.
And a year and a half later, we were married. And we were married here in Willmar at St. Mary's Catholic Church. And it began a kind of ritual time. We would come back. We never missed a summer. We bought two different cabins on Eagle Lake, and Peter became part of the Eagle Lake lore and music around the beach fires. We would always have beach fires, and he would get out his guitar and sing for this. We used to call it the Eagle Lake Mafia, because there were all these little kids from 5 or 6 different families that were all part of the North Shore of Eagle Lake, and the dock and the diving tower, and evenings around the fire, and singing songs.
And the corn boils at the lake. And the marvelous this dock out at the lake. What do you call it, where everybody swims out to?
The tower.
The tower.
On the North Shore of Eagle Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the trees and the beauty.
I love it here. You know, I was born here, and I've loved coming back here. I've kept friendships coming here, and it helps. It's taught me to feel connected to a small community of people.
But the things that I care about most here are my mother, who's still here. My father died 4 years ago.
When my husband was ill, he sat in a chair that looked at the Christmas tree. And about the end of January one year, I was going to take the Christmas tree down. And he said, "Oh, you're going to take the tree down?" I said, "Well, I don't have to today. I can stay up a while longer." He said he liked the lights in that corner. So, you know, the year went by, the second year went by. Pretty soon we got up to 5 years, and the Christmas tree was still standing. And he died 5 years ago. And the reason I kept it up is I sort of called it the tree of life, because as long as the tree was up, he lived.
And then we still have the cabin at the lake that's been in the family for over 50 years and is a tradition that will continue. That, you know, Mom has asked that as long as any one of us 6 girls or our children's children want to, you know, hang on to the cabin, that it stays in the family.
I think I remember, I always will have this feeling like in my feet of like walking down the stone steps to the dock, and the sound of walking along the dock and the motion underneath it is a very distinct thing for me. You know, it's like a sensory memory that always sticks with me. All the memories of family coming through here, my sister, my mom, my aunts, my cousins. There have been weddings and reunions all here at this cabin. And so all those things put together, the meals, the prayers that we've said over meals, and the good times. Those are the things I'll remember.
Minnesota is very special. It taught me a lot. A New Yorker needs to get rid of some of that New York stuff sometime in the path of their lives. They need to understand what family and friends, neighbors are all about. You come to New York, yeah, there's family, but it's your family, not their family. All the families are there for each other. You know, they're not saints, but they're good people. They are what America always was supposed to be to me, and that's where I learned about America. So all of this I got from coming to Wilmer and getting married to this wonderful woman, Mary Beth McCarthy. Yeah.
100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow.
When I perform with Christopher, he's not my band and I'm not his band. What we are is we're two people when we perform together that inherit a great legacy, where there's honesty when we sing. What it is a bearing of the heart and the bearing of the soul. And when you do that with your child, there's nothing more wonderful.
It's taken us on a nice adventure together. It's nice to be sharing this. And the response from people in the audience is really amazing. People, I think, get to see us together as a father and a son, and they get to see that relationship on stage and watch us. You know, they see the personal part of it, and they also, I think, like to see the music and the message kind of being carried on just by me participating and being there.
I find this to be as exciting and rewarding and meaningful as any of the work I've ever done.
For a long time, people always come up and express what my father's meant to them and how much the music has meant to them. Now they're coming up to me and they're saying how much it means to them to see my relationship with my dad there. Then there's the history of the Peter, Paul, and Mary legacy, which my dad has lived and continues to live. Although Mary is not with us anymore, I'm learning through listening to him and being with him that tradition is present in the songs that are sung, simply by getting up and sharing those songs.
The intimacy of these halls, as will be the case tonight, allows for another kind of warmth and directness and sincerity. So it's a fitting time, and in conjunction with all this is the legacy of what drew me to Mary Beth and her to me and started this family, which is that in our lives we are not here just to enjoy each other, which is wonderful, or to please each other, or to make ourselves feel good about ourselves. All these things are legitimate, but also to try to help the world become a better, more loving, caring place.
So long live the music, and long live the tradition, and learn and continue to take care of our relatives and our communities and our country. It's a beautiful world, so enjoy it. You know, sing some and create some and learn some while you're out there. And if you don't know where to start, talk to your parents or show up to a concert and see what's inside of you. Just show up and be good to one another.
Now we'll take you to Rochester, Minnesota, and get a front row seat to a one-of-a-kind performance with Peter Yarrow and his son Christopher.
Oh, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax. Everybody sing pop. The magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, pop, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with willow sails. Jackie kept a lookout bird on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. With ships, pirate ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. Everybody sing Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
The magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Listen carefully to the sad part. A dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and boys. Painted wings and giant springs make way for other toys. One great night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless hunger. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped to his cave. Puff, the magic dragon, lives by frolics, present tense, frolics in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lives by the sea. Frolics in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. It's blowing in the wind. Here we go. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail? And how How many times must the cannonballs fly? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer is blowing the wind. How many years can a mountain before it is washed? Before it is washed, to how many years can some people exist? And how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head? How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? How many times must a man look before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have? And how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take? How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, the answer, the answer, my friend, is within all of us. The answer is blowing the wind. If I had a bell
For more information about Peter Yarrow and his upcoming tour dates, go to peterpaulandmary.com. You can also find more information on our website. That's all for this week. See you again next time on Postcards.
This program on Pioneer Public Television is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. Additional support provided by Mark and Margaret Yekel Julien in honor of Shalom Hill Farm, a nonprofit rural education retreat center in a beautiful prairie setting near Windham in southwestern Minnesota. ShalomHillFarm.org. The Arrowwood Resort and Conference Center, your ideal choice for Minnesota resorts offering luxury townhomes, 18 holes of golf, Darling Reflection Spa, Big Splash Water Park, and much more. Alexandria, Minnesota, a relaxing vacation or great location for an event. Explore alex.com. Easy to get to, hard to leave.